guys, welcome back to my channel. So the Super Bowl half show 2025. First of all, shout out to the Eagles. Y'all messed up a lot of my parlays. First and foremost, I had bet on half of my parlays on y'all winning. Y'all did not win. Saquon Barkley, y'all gonna rule your day because there was some folks on your ass that they made sure your ass get your rushing yard you was supposed to. So I get my party off of you. Okay, and last but not least, Kareem Hunt, count your days because you won't have my parlays too, and you all of a sudden stop playing the damn game. Anyways, let's get to Kendrick Lamar, child. So Kendrick Lamar performed the 2025 Super Bowl halftime, and you got half of America saying, "Oh my God, Kendrick Lamar did that thing. If you read into it like you were supposed to, and not just based off the music that you got the message," and the other half said, hello, what was that? Boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. So with that being said, I'm going to highlight my favorite parts and then let a TikTok creator let you know what was actually being thrown at you in the show, okay? With that being said, let's get into A minor. Because even though it was quiet as hell during the even though it was quiet as hell during the halftime show, that part wasn't. So check this out. Now, what I loved was that even my mom was yelling that damn shit. That's how good that was. My mom was screaming that shit out loud. I was like, girl, I know you fucking love it. Now, let's get into Serena Williams, child. Now, I know petty is what petty does, but to have your ex-girlfriend quit walking, and first of all, I didn't know originally that was Serena Williams. I'm like, who's the chick with this blonde wig on looking real good? You know what I'm like? Not Serena, child. Girl, check this out. Baby, I was shooketh. And Serena, honey, them thighs, girl, them thighs. All right, let's get to the last part. So, okay, I'm gonna play another A minor part, but let's give the girls on Instagram and TikTok they flowers, because I've never even seen a clip of The Simpsons, and this shit took me out. Check this out. Oh my God, that was perfect. Watch Mojo, y'all petty as hell. Anyway, all right, this is now the breakdown. I think this young sister, she's probably older than me, child. Call her young because I don't respect women's age. She broke this down very well. So I want to give her props. Let y'all see her name at the end of the TikTok video, so go follow her if y'all want to. But she broke it down tremendously. So with that being said, y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Did you catch all of the symbolism in Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show? Let me break it down for you. Let's start with the game loading, signifying and setting the tone of what the theme of this performance would be, which is that we are playing the great American game, and not just playing it, but battling against the great American game. It starts out with this game board that has the X, the circle, the square, and the triangle, similar to a game controller, and behind them in the stands, they had the loading that was done by lights in the stands. So it said like 55% loading with the loading bar. And at the end, it said 100% loaded and the bar was fully loaded, signifying that it's time for the game to begin. This was good. Then we have the legendary, the iconic Samuel L. Jackson, who's everybody's uncle in the black community. He's playing the role of Uncle Sam, who's a representation of the American government, and he welcomes us to the great American game. Now, what makes this so interesting is that in Django, Samuel L. Jackson played the sellout. He played the Sambo, right? So for him to be playing Uncle Sam and representing the larger white society, representing the government, telling black people to be quiet, to be comfortable. In order to win the game, you have to be less of your authentic self, to simmer down and not do too much. Don't be too loud. Don't be too reckless. Anything you do will be deemed as ghetto and unnecessary if it makes the larger majority, as we've been told, uncomfortable. So this role for Sam was perfect.
It's your uncle, Sam. And this is the great American game.
Then we get Kendrick rapping a whole new verse that nobody has ever heard on top of the G and X, which really sets the tone that he's in today's time. This is about today's music. Ain't gonna be too many throwbacks for this performance here. And on top of that, he says the revolution will be televised. They picked the right time, but the wrong guy, which lets you know that I'm here with the message. This is not just about music. Pay close attention. It's also an ode to the revolution will not be televised by Gil Scott-Heron. Do your Googles.
The revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy.
Well, you know, the catchphrase, what that was all about, the revolution will not be televised, that was about the fact that the first change that takes place is in your mind. You have to change your mind before you change the way you live and the way you move.
Then to have the all-black dancers dressed in red, white, and blue as he performs Squabble Up, which symbolizes that we are not going to just play the American game, baby. We ready to squabble up with the American game, because let us remind you that black people are the culture. We are American culture. We're the culture around the world. And Kendrick kind of mentioned this during his Grammys acceptance speech when he said, listen, rap culture, hip hop culture is the culture. We are the foundation. So having black people dressed in red, white, and blue and forming the American flag is a symbol that our culture, that black culture, black blood, black bodies are the foundation of America. Now that Kendrick has decided to squabble up and play the game, Uncle Sam comes back and tells him, you're too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. Don't you know how to play the game? Symbolizing you need to be quiet. If you want to win this game, be quiet, be mild, be meek. You will not win by squabbling up. Be silent. Suffer in silence. Which haven't we been told that for so long? Then Kendrick switches to Be Humble, which was such an amazing song choice considering what Uncle Sam just said. And he has the black dancers who are dressed in red, white, and blue, shaped in the form of the American flag, which symbolizes the black experience in America. And at first they're nodding along, which is the sign of just going along with the flow in America. And then they switch the pose, and some are fist in the air, which is a sign of unity, revolutionary power, while others have their arms down, which is a sign that they may want a different type of revolution, or they may not be aligned with that form of revolution. And then they all in a collective bow down, right? And then come back up, and they switch into these karate poses. They start doing these different karate poses, which is a sign of collective unity in fighting against oppression in the system. And one of the most symbolic poses was this one, where after all of the revolutions, after the different fights, they just eventually bow down and stand back up and march military style to the next scene. Now, I have to acknowledge the symbolism of all of this occurring within the square. If you understand the square within the black community, it is an old saying to stand on your square, to stand on your dean. And the square represents us standing in our power, standing in our purpose, and knowing who we are. He is telling the story of black history in America through all of this symbolism. And one of the most interesting things is that the flag is divided, and he, the storyteller of the black American experience, is standing in the middle of that division. Now, this scene was brilliant because he transitions to the next chapter of the black American story, which was after the revolutions. And after the revolutions, they created a new form of slavery known as the prison industrial complex. And if you see at the top in lights, it says warning, wrong way, signifying that we are going in the wrong direction. Warning, warning. I'm telling y'all that we are moving backwards. That's what he's constantly letting us know throughout this entire show. Now we have the prison industrial complex where he's showing us we're going to be heading headed right back to a new form of slavery, just like they did with the prison industrial complex. Now, in this prison yard, he performs DNA, reminding us that we are royalty. We have loyalty in our DNA. Know who you are. Have knowledge of self. Remember your power as a Black person. And he also performs Euphoria and then eases into Peekaboo as he transitions over to the X. Now, what's important to recognize within this prison yard is he has the street lights, and there are brothers sitting on top of the street lights watching over the yard, which symbolizes quite a few things. Number one, we are always being watched. We are always being observed. The lights are always on the Black community because, once again, we are the culture. We are America. But also mind the watchful eye, mind the evil eye that is watching over you, attempting to trap you in. And within the prison yard, he's showing that we still build community. As he's performing, he has the old doo-wop harmonies happening behind him, because despite this new form of slavery that impacted the Black community, we still found a way to be beautiful and bold and Black and so very much worthy of everything we deserve that is centered and aligned in wellness. We found a way to create music, and remember, this is about the 40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music. So he's telling a story about the music and beyond.
Scorekeeper, deduct one life.
Then he transitions into the X, which is one of my favorite scenes because it represents the merging of the divine feminine and sacred masculine energy that we have within all of us, but that really uphold the foundation of the Black community. The brothers are vibing out to Peekaboo, and then they all come together and the space opens up and the sisters enter into the X, and Kendrick goes over to consult with the sisters, which was a constant theme throughout the entire show. Throughout the entire show, Kendrick was always consulting with the sisters and telling them what was on his mind and asking for their advice, asking what he should do. That is a symbolism of the brothers, the divine masculine energy, needing to kind of unload that logic mind and get some of that divine feminine intuition and guidance and advisement. That was just beautiful.
No, they not like us. What? They not like us. No, they not like us. No, they not like us.
And then they transition to the triangle where they began to perform the love songs, the ballads with SZA. SZA and Kendrick coming together and performing at the center of the triangle represents the power of Black love, building the Black family unit, which makes up the Black community. You have the two parents coming together to create and manifest the child and continuing on the generations, the legacy of the Black community. Then they transition to the circle where he and SZA perform All of the Stars, and the circle represents a clock moving, time passing by, but then they move counterclockwise, which is a sign that we are going backwards in time. Now, right after this, Uncle Sam comes back and praises Kendrick for doing a good job by being silent, docile, calm.
Oh no. It's a cultural divide. I'm gonna get it on the flow.
You really about to do it?
40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
And as Kendrick said, this is bigger than the music. So him performing Not Like Us is not just about Drake, but it's about understanding who we are as Black people in America, us reclaiming our crown and remembering who's not like us. We got to get these squares up out our circle, which is one of the reasons he returned to the square where he performed Not Like Us before ending with TV off, reminding us that the full revolution will not be televised. Stop being programmed. Turn the TV off.
Turn this TV off. Turn this...
Someone once told me the grass is much greener on the other side.